Well,
at the end of the day, like
I was just in, and let me know when we get started.
We're rolling on everything.
Oh, we're rolling on everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I keep messing with this.
no,
I didn't know. Yeah, I'm just doing my own thing. No, I was just in last weekend. Last weekend I was in Little Rock doing shows Wednesday through Saturday at the Looney Bin Little Rock, which I've been playing that club for like 9 years.
Hell yeah, how'd those go?
Oh, it was great. It was
That's
great. Like Wednesday they drive you to a casino, you do the casino gig, and then you're at the club Thursday through Saturday.
So, okay, so they kind of make a whole little, not even a weekend, a whole week out of it. That's nice.
Yeah, I mean that's how the Looney Bins have always been. It's Wednesday through Saturday. And
Okay.
There used to be 4 of them, and then the owner died. So we lost 2 of them, and then the one in Little Rock, which used to be my least favorite, the staff bought it. The staff, they've been there forever, and they all just pooled their money, and they bought the club for themselves.
That's amazing.
And while it's still the same club, it's had a big glow up. Like they've
Right.
invested in it.
You can feel the morale when you walk in.
Yeah, it's just like it's a club run by people that own the club, like
Right.
the staff does, and it's
even
just
more
like a cool.
More importantly, a club run by people that want to be there.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you can feel when your wait staff doesn't want to be there and they're bringing you wings while some guy's trying to tell you jokes. It doesn't feel the same.
It's a completely different atmosphere, and it's beautiful, man. And but when I was there, the origin for my camera is when I was there, I was working with Gabriel Rutledge, who's phenomenal.
Mhm.
I wasn't familiar with him till then, and then afterwards, he was like on the last night, like he wasn't like bragging, but he was being open and honest about his financials. And when he told me how much money he was making, like with clips and selling tickets, and he was like showing me his camera system, and I was like, all right, I'll buy a camera. I'll buy a camera. So my idea with this thing is I bought this thing like, I'm a 10-year comic in the city. I've played clubs all over the country, 2-time finalists, Funniest Comic Texas, released a special, all this shit. And I can't sell tickets. I don't know how to I'm ready to headline, but I can't move the needle at all.
The environment of comedy has changed. Not for the bad, just for the different.
So with this, I'm just trying to do something where it's like I can kind of show something that's a little bit more intimate, something that's a little bit more behind the scenes of what we do and what my weekends are like and what that entails.
Right, and you do
Whatever
so
that
much
leads to.
outside of, like, you getting on stage is an hour out of your day.
Yeah.
2 hours if you do a double show.
Exactly.
There's so much more. Like, you're coming on and for pulling the curtain back, it's 3 p.m. on a Sunday right now.
Yeah.
There's so much outside of the comedy that we actually do for comedy.
Yeah.
I tell everyone I have 3 jobs. I have one real job and then stand up in this podcast.
Oh yeah, now I'm a production crew now, and and a booker, and a writer, and a performer.
I'm a gaffer if you need it.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't show everybody just me sucking on a vape, thinking about things I can't change in a dark room. So I gotta, maybe this will inspire me to get out there and do a little bit more than that with my life and show people that there's more to me than that. You know what I mean? I don't just suck a vape and suffer.
I
in the
feel like
dark.
you could pull that off, though.
I was just
I
about to say,
could.
you in a jazz club with velvet walls,
Fucking
just
love jazz.
dimly lit, sitting on a stool.
Yeah.
Oh, that you could live in that. Just like a nice. Have you ever been to Balcony Club over here?
No, I haven't.
It's an open mic that's just open to everything, and they have a live
Oh.
band in house. So you come up, give them your song you're gonna do. But I've also been fooled into going to do there for comedy once, and they do not want that. But they are like, all right, try your fucking stand up. Do your little sketch.
Yeah. I mean, I've studied the trumpet for a decade, but yeah, tell your little dick joke.
Yeah,
That's
tell
great.
your exactly. Tell your little dick joke. Yeah, there's 2 guys, a classically trained jazz drummer just sitting there with shades on in the darkest room you've ever seen. The host of it is
Well, yeah, if you've watched Whiplash and aspired to that, that's a pretty dark life. You know what I mean? It's like, I wish I was that guy. He got so good.
that was that
You
guy's
know?
day to day. He woke up, watched Whiplash, went and bought a weird hat, and then went to the club. That was
What a great life.
that's a great life. He's
You know
very
what I mean?
happy.
Yeah.
His name is Scourge or something cool
Scourge?
ass name. Yeah, just some
Jesus
jazz
Christ.
name.
Imagine in the comedy community, you guys had a J.K. Simmons, the bald guy, that was like beating you every time you told a joke.
We
like
need
in
it.
like Whiplash, like just boom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do need it sometimes.
I mean, like we were talking about on the couch, I'm just such a fan of Tough Crowd, and what you hear from the old Bully Ball days in the 90s, like Patrice threw a phone book at Kevin Hart while he was on stage, and now Kevin Hart just happens to be selling out anything he wants.
And there is such like a push and pull with me about like kindness in the community and like comics being comics.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like once we're all in a certain room, like there's different rooms, And like, if you're in this room and I'm in this room, I'm not going to come into that room and like hassle you guys.
Right.
But if you're in the room I'm in, like, we can all fuck with each other.
Oh, yeah.
You
if
know
you're
what I
going to
mean?
come into my vibe, you're going to come into our vibe.
Yeah. But I don't go to open mics and be like, what's up, losers? You know what I mean? Like, that's not, you know what I mean? Like, that's not, to me, that's like, there's a way to go about it.
Right. I'm a comic at the end of the day because I'm a people pleaser. So it's going to be very, hi, how's it going? My name's Paxton. Nice to meet you.
So am I. But once I get to know you, that's when I can be like, your
Yeah.
fucking parents don't even like you.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that joke was good. I hope
I keep you around because you make me feel better.
I told Shiva last night, every once in a while, Shiva will throw an arrow right through my armor. Where it's like, this was probably a year ago, because we were talking about material last night, and I was like, I love Shiva came up to me after a set one time, and he goes, yeah, man, that new story you're doing about the dog, like that long story, he goes, man, I don't think that shit's funny. He goes, but they love it. And I was like, I just lived with that. It's like, no, I mean, I don't think it's funny at all, but the audience, they loved it. And I was like, fuck you, man. That stuck with me for am I just good at talking? Am I hypnotizing people? You know what I mean? Like, what is this anymore?
I've had that before with Jacob Marshall, friend of the show. Love you, buddy.
Yeah. Great at basketball.
Great at basketball. He was in the room one time. So as all comics know, people that are watching might not. Comics don't watch comics for the most part. You might have one or two, you're like, oh, he's on stage, I'm going to walk in there.
Yes.
I might catch 90 minutes of your set because you're my friend, but I really don't want to hear you talk.
Yeah.
Because we're going to go outside and be way funnier in just a second because, no holds barred.
Man, the people that go in front of me, I love their closers. It's like, I love their closers. That's a great closer. Let's go.
It's the same thing. Your closer's fantastic.
Yeah, I love that closer.
What about my opener? But your closer.
I haven't heard your opener in years.
I'm sure it was good.
Yeah, it was great.
You don't just have that one joke? I thought you just...
I thought it was just that one bit.
I thought you opened me every time with that one joke.
And that closer, I didn't think it was funny, but they loved it.
But I have to say it. And on to mine.
Yeah. Now let's go ahead and say my name. Get me up there.
Yeah. When I was starting out, me and Jacob, we hung out a lot starting up, and then I was kind of figuring out I was figuring out that I was just saying what was funny. I wasn't saying things that were true to me.
Yeah.
So I took that weird 180 and started writing differently. And he heard it, and he came in as a good friend, and he came back out and he goes, Paxton finally got a pop.
Oh,
God damn
but it sticks with you though. It sticks with you.
Oh, that moment of positivity hurts so bad.
And when you're new to comedy, how would you know to do anything different?
Right.
You know what I mean?
You've got to fail a bunch.
Yeah. What we were talking about in the living room, you get good at falling down.
Right. Yeah, we were talking about skating. And it was funny you brought that back up because I was thinking about it. I think Tony Hawk went on like a Two Bears podcast or something like that. And they were talking about how Tony Hawk would watch people and take mental reps on how they fell down.
Yeah, that was me as a kid. Like, I would watch the really good guys just throw their bodies in the air and just slide out of it. Like, if you watch a toddler, like I've got a 4-year-old, when he falls, it's just all face, like an idiot. Like, he's just no hands in front of him, just straight to the face, straight into the concrete. And you're like, dude, you didn't fall good at all. That was the worst way to fall.
Hand out?
Yeah, no instincts, dude.
It's that old Louis C.K. bit. You're like, oh, Jesus. They're going to be walking to the mailbox and that's it.
Yeah. And everybody falls different. Like, no offense to him, but I was joking with this one the other day. It's like, like when a man falls down, we're all like, but if you're out with a woman that's like your girlfriend or something, if she falls down, like the night's over. The night, like, and somehow it's your fault. But like if a woman falls down, like the night is over.
And the night's over because you still really want to laugh. So you have to shut everything
Oh, you
down.
better not laugh. You better not laugh to this funniest physical comedy thing that can possially happen to somebody. You know
no
what
joke
I mean? Like,
I can write is better than someone face planting.
Yeah, exactly. You know who can hit a woman? The concrete.
Sir Isaac Newton.
Yeah, gravity got you there. You know what I mean? Maybe some karma. I don't know. You know, I don't talk to angels. I'm not a Black Crow song, but what happened.
I was working out at Hula Hut out in Little Elm once when they still had a mic going around and they would do showcases and stuff like that. And half of the restaurant would still be the restaurant and half of the restaurant was the show.
Oh, what a great platform for comedy.
Yeah, they were really doing something putting on for us. I'll say that at
I've
least.
been in so many these situations. Yeah.
You end up doing it and like, man, I would have rather done this in the laundromat. This is crazy.
Yeah.
But
I could have done this at home. I drove here. I stopped to get gas. I almost got in an accident. I almost died for this.
I
you
could have just
imagine
been
that?
doing this to the back of my fridge when I was finding snacks.
Have you ever gotten an oil change and most of it was open mic comedy? You know what I mean? Like, it is a terrible excuse to be at a place full of adults.
Not
you know?
everything needs to have something happening.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've already done comedy in a hallway and I'm only 2.5 years old.
Yeah, just walking in a discount tire again, you know, because I've been crisscrossing the city to perform in places that are half restaurant, half people that don't want me to be doing what I'm doing.
I hosted a fashion show in an airplane hangar. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. God damn.
So we're out at Hula Hut, and there's outside of the club, because it's a nice place that has like, it's right on the lake. They have a patio outside, and the patio also touches where the comedy's going on.
Yeah.
I'm sitting out there. I'm smoking after my set, and I'm just watching this little kid run back and forth.
Yeah.
He's being a good kid. He's quiet. He's running and quiet. I've never seen that before. And I was just watching him run back and forth.
It's kind of an indicator of having mean parents, right?
Or autism.
like I'm good at running, but I stay quiet.
I have to run away.
I know what happens if I get loud.
They find me.
Yeah.
I don't know how Dad found me that one time. That was the best spot.
Yeah. Dad keeps calling himself Gravity.
Do you have bad parents? Well, you're going to be the best hide and seek artist there ever was.
Yeah.
But no, out of nowhere, he trips on
I
a
haven't
board.
found my dad in 33 years. Son of a bitch won't come out. Yeah.
Son of a bitch is professional.
Yeah, just keep driving around Dallas yelling dad. It still hasn't appeared.
Hide and seek champion, 2003.
So good at it. Yeah. Not even any child support. You know what I mean? Nobody can find him.
Oh, man. But I'm just watching this kid run back and forth. Out of nowhere, a plank comes up out of, like, I literally watched the plank pop because he stepped on one and this one popped.
Oh, some Looney Tune shit?
Ate shit. Didn't he put his hands back like he was Superman? Fucking scraped I only know this because I'm a little gay. His T-zone just all to shit. And he's not crying. And I'm just like, oh. And I'm looking around for his parents. I'm just like, please, for the love of God, tell me someone is going to come take care of this before I have to. I'm a little drunk. I'm a little high. I'm a comic. I'm just like, I got to take care of this child. And I pick him up, and then someone said it looked like I picked up a sack of potatoes. I was just holding it. And I was just walking him around to the regular side of the restaurant. And some mom's like, why do you have my kid? I'm like, he died.
I saw your son die. Yeah. We pick up other people's kids the way you pick up like a dirty diaper. You're like, this isn't mine.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is not, I don't want it.
I barely like mine. You're just your kid's shit.
I walked a kid into a pole that wasn't my kid. I go to this public pool in the summer with my friends, like called the Fraternal Order of the Eagles, and I was like, I have a 4-year-old, so like I'm in like a kid zone, like I like kids, and I go to get a margarita, and there was this like pretty girl there, and she had a baby with her in a car chair, and I was like, hey, good looking kid, and she's like, thank you, and I got a margarita, and then I came back and I got another margarita a little while later. And she like started talking to me a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, I was being nice, just being friendly."
Right.
And then I come back to get a third margarita. So you got to realize at this point, this woman only knows 2 things about me. Like I complimented her child, and I've had 3 margaritas, and she knew nothing else. And she goes, "Hey, can you help me carry my kid's car seat back inside?" And I'm here to help single mothers. And I go, "Yeah." And I pick up this kid, and it's asleep in the car seat, and I was walking it, following her, and I'm trying to make eye contact with her because I'm a gentleman. And I just like, those poles that hold up patios, like I hit this car seat, like I hit the kid into the pole and it made like that tuning fork, like we're in Kia V, and and I just looked at the baby, like I'm going to jail. Like I'm going to go to jail. I think this is drinking and driving. I'm pretty sure with a stranger's child. And she just acted like it didn't happen. So I was like, oh, good. She's a shitty mom. She's not going to be that mad at me. You can't be that mad at me. Like you're clearly not a good
At the
mother.
end of the day, you asked the guy that had 3 margaritas.
Yeah.
You're the problem.
That's all you knew about me is that I've had 3 margaritas for sure. You know what I mean?
Just imagining a cop pull up and he's having a bad day. He's trying to get you on kidnapping. Like, no, I was just trying to be a nice guy.
Yeah, it's just being a nice guy.
This fucking shitty mom over here.
Yeah, wait, why are you yelling at me? You know what I mean? Just put this kid in the Kia V and now it's asleep. We're all good.
Officer, do you want the kid? Like, obviously, neither of us should have
Yeah,
it.
someone pick up this dirty diaper because we can't have it here.
So this is a great as moment as any because I keep forgetting to do it. But we have another great episode on deck of the Dingbat District. Thank you for coming and watching another episode. We have a returning guest on, one of our favorites, one of my parents' favorites comics coming back.
Aw.
He's got a special out on YouTube called Trina, Trena. Go watch it. Y'all make some noise at home for the hilarious Lawrence Rosales coming back on.
Hello, everybody.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, man.
We love to
I'm
have you back.
excited, man.
So you've been going all around since. I see your old always popping up. You're doing TKs here pretty soon, aren't you?
Yeah, and this is actually next week is like a pretty monumental week for me. Next Friday I am headlining Hyenas.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
I'm headlining the Hyenas in Fort Worth. I've waited 10 years to get this phone call.
right.
Um,
One of the
it's-
best stages in Dallas or
it's-
DFW.
It's my favorite club to play.
Right.
It's the club where I started. I've headlined every room in the city other than this one.
Oh, so this is the pinnacle, the peak, and like this is your victory lap.
I quit on Saturday. I quit on Saturday. It's over. It's all over.
I did not mean pinnacle and peak, but
Yeah.
you've done Dallas.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Which is like a really surreal moment. I'm happy about it. I'm excited about. I'm nervous about it.
Right.
Nervous in like a good way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a hotel room and like. Because like no matter what, like there's something about just beating off in a nice room where it's like that's as close as I'm gonna get. Like you know what I mean? Like it's like like I don't have to wash these sheets. You know what I mean? You can
This
walk
isn't
around
too
naked.
good for the guys in the bigs. I can do it.
Yeah. If I get a standing ovation, I'll do it twice. You know what I mean? But like this is gonna end well for me, one way or the other. I swear to God.
You mean get the hotel twice?
Yeah. I might just stay. I'm just gonna squat. Squatters' rights.
I've headlined every comedy club in DFW. This is my room now.
Yeah, but it's been 10 years, like in the making, and like I was telling you guys when we started, like congratulations on keeping this thing. You know how hard it is to keep doing this for a year.
Right.
There's places in my career when I was just at the Looney Bin and like we're talking about it, but now when I'm at the Looney Bin, like the financials are different.
Yeah.
But I look back at I used to go on the road to be an MC. Like I would go to Kansas Wednesday through Saturday and they'd hand me like $250. I don't remember how I stayed alive. Like I really, when I look back on it, like I don't. Like I would be doing Uber Eats like during the day.
Yeah.
Which in Wichita, Kansas, you get like 3 orders. You know what I mean?
For $3.
For $3.
They're all going to the
know?
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, they're all going to the Cracker Barrel.
Shoney's.
Yeah, I didn't even know Grandy's was still a thing. They're
Y'all have
so
Luby's
busy
and it
here.
delivers?
Yeah. I'd be in Kansas during COVID doing that shit, and like I'd walk into a gas station with my mask on, and people look at me like that meant I had it. You know what I mean? Like these smaller towns, they think a little different. No offense, Wichita. I had a guy come up to me after the show one time and goes, "Man, I like your jokes, but you got to say them slower." And I took his advice, and it worked so well. It worked so well.
In Wichita?
Yeah. Like, he was totally right. I was just talking too fast.
I've heard that, but one of the best pieces of advice I've ever heard was, I think Ron White said it, but I don't know if he said it or took it from someone else.
Yeah.
But he said, if you're doing good, slow down. If you're doing bad, slow down.
Yeah.
And I was just
100%.
like, oh, shit, I've just been fucking spazzing up there this whole time.
Well, when you're new, I mean, that's the whole thing. But the power of silence, the power of slowing down, the power of going like my hands are on the wheel and I know where we're going.
Mm-hmm. Well, that and a punchline or a silence is a punchline if you use it right.
Oh, for sure.
Right. It's
sure.
such a tool that I just didn't have for the longest time. And then now we're meeting and talking with you who's 10 years in, and
Yeah.
not only have you succumbed all of that, you've had to succumb the vibe changing multiple different times.
Oh, yeah.
It used to be what we're talking about, this tough crowd vibe where everyone was working all the time just to get to eventually a Netflix, and that was even really new, or like an HBO Presents or something. Now you're working to get a better TikTok following, and your TikTok following is to get more people to your show, and it's just a cyclical fucking dog eating a tail.
Everything. Like, who's the last person that blew up like outside of comedy on TikTok? Like, what's the most famous thing that's happened on TikTok recently?
On TikTok, honestly, mine's weird. I've been fucking with my own algorithm, just testing it. But there for a little bit, the only things I saw were like people getting in fights when they got out of their car on the road.
Yeah.
And then like police body cam footage.
Yeah.
And then I was wondering why I was getting angry and sad all the time. I was like, I'm going to change this up.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And then I just refucked with my algorithm to see what would happen. And then I just made it all mentally handicapped people dancing and just being all happy.
That's
And
great.
It was the happiest I
and
ever
to know
was.
you're better than somebody. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, yeah, man, these guys can dance, but I can walk. You know what I mean? Like, You got to find a way to feel good about yourself. Like I like to see somebody trip over a door frame, not fall down.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Catch
It's like,
you with the other foot.
better than you.
You're like, oh.
It's like, I like it whenever I see somebody getting weird with a hot dog roller, like at Quick Trip. You know, like they know what they're doing's wrong.
Right.
You can't eat here. You should eat here. And they look at you like you're judging them. And then you stand behind them and go, I'm next. But you know what I mean? It's like, that's...
But you wish you could be that guy, though.
For sure. Like, I'm so envious of people that are happy easily. Like, people that are just a little bit less guarded than I am.
Right. Dumb people.
Like, when I was in Little Rock, I was just telling the story. Like, there was a guy there, this big black dude named Big Country, and he was...
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That changed so much. Big black guy was already one image I had in my head. Big country named Big Black Guy. That's easily a 6'13" black guy that's an ex-wrestler.
He was the DJ and every I mean, we're at a comedy club. You gotta imagine Little Rock. We're at a comedy club that already has I tell them on stage, this place feels like a haunted Long John Silver's. But in the corner, there's a DJ named Big Country. Who's keeping the vibe up. Like, it takes me noticing it's a haunted Long John Silver's. If you just listen to Big Country, everything's good. And every track he's mixing in has got a lot of air horn in it. Like there's like, we're at a club, like not like at a haunted Long John Silver's.
And he's a big fan of Cypher Sounds.
Yeah, and all he's seen is my set. And after the show, we're all like, everybody's gone, but it's just like the staff and the manager and the headliner and myself. And him and I start talking for like 4 minutes. He's like, man, I like you. He's like, you want to go to Golden Corral with me tomorrow? And like, we've known each other for 4 minutes. And I'm just not that kind of person. Like, I'm just like, you guys, I like you guys. If you're like, you want to go to lunch tomorrow? Like, no, I don't. But I like lunch is my favorite, by the way, too, because like I can be a very like alone person. You know what I mean?
I like to eat alone.
No, I like to be alone in general.
Right.
But like lunch is great because lunch has like an obvious endpoint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Lunch is an hour. You get up, you do your thing, you go.
Yeah, like if we're gonna meet for something, let's meet for lunch.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like this isn't gonna bleed over.
I'm not a fan of we finished our meal, let's sit here and talk and just make the waitress or waiter hate us.
Yeah.
I was a waiter. I know that they hate that person.
I've tabbed out. This buzz is wearing off. I got to get behind the wheel as soon as possible. I can't just stay here. You know what I mean? Like I'll have to think about my life on the way home. That's not why I did this.
I have to sit on my couch and ruminate things about I did in my past.
Yeah.
I've got things to do today.
Yeah. I'm not going to pay for 4 vodka waters and leave here sober. That's ridiculous. It's who I am as a person. But anyways, he invites me to Golden Corral. And I was like, man, actually, I have a day job. I got to do work tomorrow. And he's like, man, have you hiked Pinnacle Mountain? Now we're like 5 minutes into this relationship. He's like, have you hiked Pinnacle Mountain? You go into the woods, there's this big trail and it leads up this mountain. I was
and
like,
you said you're the first black guy to ever offer hiking to me?
Yeah, exactly. I've never seen one black person go off-road.
They're very concrete warriors. We know them to be that.
But he seemed so happy, and I almost said yes, but I was like, I don't know at what point in a relationship you go into the woods with somebody, but it's not 5 minutes. It's not 5 minutes. So
sir, your name is Big Country, and you invited me to the woods.
Then I went and hiked that mountain by myself. With no water on me, got lost for 2 hours, and all I could think is, God damn it, I should have brought Big Country with me. Like this never would have happened.
God damn it, I should have went to Golden Corral.
But when he invited me to go to the woods, I don't mean to sound bad, but I kept imagining the movie Green Mile. Yeah. like I didn't want to be one of those girls that's in his lap that they find him like by the creek. You know what I mean? The Big Country. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. I don't know how I feel about all of that. But these are the thoughts that were in my head, and this is a podcast, and it's being recorded. My camera's on.
I've had that once where I went to Rose City before they've transitioned over to the nicer new venue. Which
How beautiful is it now?
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. We went on a Wednesday night and you go and you see the crowd, and this is going to sound shitty at first. You see the crowd before you're actually in the crowd and a part of the show, and you're like, man, this could be tough.
Mm-hmm.
They look like exactly what you think is going to be in Tyler, Texas, is a little uppity white people.
Yeah.
Not one little bit
just
of color
a bunch of Yeti coolers that they transformed into
all
people.
All of the Irish stopped in Tyler, Texas.
Yeah.
And they got
a Stanley Cup on top of a Yeti cooler.
Yeah.
That's a relationship.
And then they're fantastic. Then
amazing.
The sweetest people. I had an older woman that I said first thing, and I shouldn't have said it, but I was like, you remind me of my grandmother. And she goes, I hate that. Don't ever say that again, but you're cute, pal. I was like, all right. But I had 2 Russian guys the last time when it was the old place. They invited me to go to a Tyler strip club with me and Kane, and we were driving back that night. And I look at Kane.
Did you go?
I wanted to so bad, but I look at him. I go, I'm gonna feed it to you, honest man. 2 Russian guys in the middle of Tyler, Texas. We just met.
Yeah.
You're asking us to leave the show that's still going on right now to go to a Tyler strip club. I'm good.
Russian roulette, baby. You know what I mean? Just roll the barrel.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple more bullets than just one in there.
The end of Deer Hunter.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. You know what I mean? And I don't know what the clientele or the performers are going to be like.
A lot of C-section scars, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, hell yeah. You know, it's a little flavor. It's vintage.
But you know, I like a flaw.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a flaw? Like a snaggletooth?
You ever see those guitars hanging on the wall that are like, they're all beat up? You know what I mean? Like, this one's been on tour with Bruce Springsteen.
Who played that one?
Yeah, who played that one? Yeah. That one's not new. I can tell you that one. Doesn't even come with a case.
Oh, man, you're worn.
I'm not a strip club guy.
You know, I've never been.
I think about going to the strip club every once in a while, mainly because I oftentimes will masturbate to memories. And I think the person I think of most would probably try to ruin my life. So it's like then I finish and I'm like, I think that person hates me. And it makes it harder to go to sleep, you know. And I drove home quick after those 4 vodka waters, but still, there's a little lingering.
It makes it harder to go to sleep, yes, but it makes busting the nut so much better.
That is true.
She fucking hates me. And then afterwards, she fucking hates me.
Yeah, she fucking hates me. I wonder if she knows I did that. I wonder if she knows I did that.
I hope not. We're thinking of 2 different things, but for both of us, I hope
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, the crimes we commit in our own mind. But Road City, I love Road City, man. Like, and you guys are getting there now where it's like the clubs that exist outside of the city outside of the city as well are also very important.
Right.
Like the Looney Bin was a huge part of my maturation process coming up through comedy because sure, there's a lot of clubs in the city, but there was clubs 2 in Oklahoma, 1 in Kansas, and 1 in Arkansas that were part of my rotation as well.
Right.
The furthest one away is a 6-hour drive. Which
Jeez,
for me back then, I mean, that's just nothing. In Oklahoma City, I'd wake up in Oklahoma City and be back for brunch with my wife at the time.
Yeah,
So, but I would get work Wednesday through Saturday there.
Right, and it'll teach you being in this environment, and it almost sounds like a first world problem when you complain about it like this, but there's so much saturation, even in DFW, of people. If you want to go see comedy, there are plenty of places to go see comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But somewhere like a Film Alley or somewhere like a Rose City, those are incredibly also important to a maturation process because you're getting people that want to be there. For probably maybe one of your first times actually having that. Yeah.
And I love that you said that too, because like Film Alley, like Rose City's a little different. Film Alley, I've never wanted to do it once.
Right.
What a terrible environment for a comedy show. And I have a great time every time.
A fucking bowling alley. On paper, it seems terrible, but every time I hear good things about it.
They moved it to the back part of it, like where it's over in the corner and like they close and all the alleys are like all the lanes are shut down.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just feels like the apocalypse and we're having like a get together. Like this is how we're going to handle it. When we go back out there.
However, looks so cool. It must be daunting while you're right there. I've never done it, but while you're right there in it, it must be just terrifying to see so much space behind you where no more sound is bouncing.
And that's the weird thing too when you've been doing this as long as I have, where you walk in and you see everything's terrible. You're like, well, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad. I'm ready. Yeah. I'm ready. I've done this plenty of times. You know what I mean? And every time I get asked to do that gig, like I always say yes. And then like the day of, I think, why the fuck did I agree to do this again? Like I survived it last time. Like why would you do it again? And I'll do it again, I'm sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I end up having a great time.
Work is work is work. Time is time is time.
Work is work, yeah.
And I did that the other day. I'm not going to say the name of it because I'd love to go back because I don't get that much work. So, but I got there. It was outside venue. Same thing. I saw like, oh, okay. Well, outside venue. A lot of people here, but the back half of the room is definitely just here to be here.
Yeah.
There were probably upwards of like 80 to 100 people in this room, but you really had 20 people that were excited for the comedy. Mm-hmm. It was a great opportunity. I got to work clean, which I don't do very often, so that's a fun little challenge. And same thing, when I woke up that morning, my stomach dropped out of my asshole. God, it hurt.
Yeah,
like, fuck, I've got to do an outside clean show. That's such a bad 2-in-1 diagram to do. And then I got there, and I brought my girlfriend, her friend, and there were a couple other people. They all said they had a good time, and at least at the end of the day, I'll take the positivity over knowing the negativity.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And a lot of times it's just like to hang with the comics. Like hanging with the comics is a good time as long as you have people there that you like.
Right. Yeah.
You
And
know what I mean?
I liked a lot of the people there. I liked everyone there. It was all people that I don't normally hang out with though, which is fun. Because I've been in it for 2.5 years and I've still barely met all of the people that are in this scene. There are so many comics right now in comparison to like in the 90s where there were 100 comics.
And you mentioned it before we were on air, and I won't tell the story, but just like the story, he was telling me a story about a local comic and some fallout that had happened and this scenario, and I was like, I don't know that person. I didn't hear that story, and I missed the scene so much in certain ways, but I'm just better and healthier. Like just not, stay working. Right. Stay moving, stay writing, and stay producing.
Even on that story I was telling you, I wasn't involved in that whatsoever, but just a part of me, because my head was in on it, I knew I had my ear to the ground and listened to the hoofbeats. Part of it weighed on me just a little bit, knowing that he's out there.
Yeah.
He's one of these dudes that like, I've never done anything to this person. I've been nothing but sweet to him, even though I don't like this person. Yeah. And every morning I could wake up to a text about how I fucked him over on Facebook or something. And you're like, well, I got to deal with this for today just because I know a lunatic.
Yeah. That happened to me not too long ago. So, that's why I say whenever you get to the different rooms, like the rooms of comics I hang out with now, and I think it's healthy because you got to like, it was the same with me whenever I was new. I see him on your wall here, like Parker. I love Parker so much, but it was like in a room. It's like whenever at Fonzo, whenever I was new, like, and Andy, these are the people that were around me, and we made each other better by growing together.
Right.
But as you grow,
iron sharpens iron.
Yeah. And then you get into this different room. Well, guess what? I wasn't in that room either. There were a group of guys that were ahead of me. Yeah. And trying to catch them when they're getting quality stage time, like you're an open micer trying to catch somebody who's working weekends. Right. If anybody's outside of comedy, it's almost impossible to explain. Yeah. It's like if you just ordered the supplies and you're trying to be the CEO. Right.
We actually have an avenue to become the CEO. Not quicker, but like quicker than you would at like a Ameritrade or something.
Yeah, for sure. But you're still trying to get there, and it's daunting.
You're trying to take that person's job while also being that person's, well, maybe not friend, but at least friendly with that person.
For sure.
I'm trying to be on that person's thing, and I'm also trying to take his shit away from him because I want it.
Yeah. And like that guy was talking about like the people that in comedy, like, oh, well, you fucked me over and all that stuff. It's like, I'm also very wary of, and I don't see it that often anymore, but there are people out there that will try to trip you or try to impede your progress. Yeah. And I've never been that kind of person at all. Like to me, if you're trying to protect your spot, you don't feel like you deserve your spot. Right. Maybe that's some ego in me or some competitiveness in me.
No, I feel like you're 100% on that. That's just everything that with like the projecting thing.
Yeah. But how am I going to feel good about myself if I achieve something by making it harder for you to get it? Yeah. Then I'm not going to feel good about what I got.
Right.
Anyways.
Go write a joke.
Yeah.
Go write that one joke that brings you the confidence back.
Yeah. Well, just work on your set.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I was listening to Jessica Curson before you got here, and I love her. Her material is awesome, but she's been really catching me because I love her crowd work stuff. Mm-hmm. She's posted like 3 different 30-minute crowd work specials now. And she said that earlier. It's like, she flubbed a joke and turned around and faced towards the wall. We've all seen it before where you're talking to yourself but to the audience. Yeah. And she's like, why did you get into this stupid fucking business? Even when it's high, it's low.
Yeah. I try to take moments now. I really try to take moments, and it might be kind of sad, but it's honest. Like whenever I have moments in this business where when something good happens to me, like really good happens, like whenever I got told I was gonna work Hyenas or headline on a Friday, like I gave it 2 days where it was just for me.
Right.
Like
you've got to sit on that information.
Yeah.
You've got to have the good, and then you've also got to have the, oh my God, I've got to sell Hyenas now.
Well, not only that, but it was like, there's already been like multiple features in the city coming to me like, yeah, I remember that one time where Randy let me headline a night, and I'm like, but like, they can't wait to come say that to me. I'm like, this isn't about you. This isn't about you. It's why I waited. I let myself enjoy it for 48 hours before I let you snakes come in here and
right. And I remember when he let me do that. Shut up, fucking Tony Hinchcliffe, you snake.
Yeah. Like, fuck you. You know what I mean? God, it was so weird to watch Tony almost sway an election.
It's crazy. I feel like I have to hear this once every 8 years or something, but someone will start saying, why are we letting comedians be politicians?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it started with Rogan initially, and now it's Tony Hinchcliffe. Like, at the end of the day, why are you mad? He's a roast comic. That's everything that he was going to do. And then I get why people are mad. I guess I don't understand why they booked him in the first place. It could have been anything to fill that spot.
And it's not that I was offended by, like, it's not really in my business to be offended by super famous people's jokes.
Right.
But, like, it wasn't a good joke. It was like kind of, unequivocally not a great joke.
Right.
I think anybody was like, oh, that was beautiful. Like, why would you guys just don't get comedy? I think everybody was like, yeah, it was a dumb joke said at the wrong time in front of the wrong audience.
Yeah.
In a bad moment.
Yeah, and we've all had that, but I didn't have it at the fucking Republic National Convention.
Yeah, but it was weird for me because, I started working Hyenas because of Tony Hinchcliffe. Like,
really? What do you mean by that?
If you go back and look, I was on episode, you have to understand, this was before the band.
Right. This is early Comedy Store days.
Early. But they would still tour on it. But it was
Right.
just him and Red Band. And the guest at the time, it's not even on their regular, it's on like a Vimeo.
Oh, Vimeo?
Yeah, it's like only on Vimeo back then.
Oh, well, first thing, Lawrence Rosales, comedian.
Oh,
I even
there I
butchered
am.
your last name and you still came up, so that's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah. Oh, man. Jesus, I don't even know what this would be.
Oh,
your
no, it's your
special came
special.
up.
Go
Yeah.
watch Trina on Netflix.
Please,
Not Netflix,
please.
on YouTube.
Just
Please.
click on it and walk away. And then come back later, click on it again and walk away.
Don't comment.
Yeah, do not comment. Well, you can comment all you want. I won't read it. I've looked for it and I have found it. Oh, that's me headlining the Comedy Arena. See, it wouldn't even be on the YouTube.
Let's see if we can find it in just in images.
How many years ago was it?
Oh, man. I'm 10 years in. Oh, no, I'm 10 years in, and this would have been about 8 to 9 years ago.
Wow.
It was me, Alvin. It was at the Dallas Hyenas, which might be an easier way to find it, too. It was at the Dallas Hyenas. It was me. Basically, back then, what they did is whoever had the best minute got to open for them.
Okay.
So they would do the Kill Tony, then everybody would go outside and smoke weed, like with his audience back then. It was not nearly as big as it is now.
Right.
And then,
yeah, I remember, I feel like, wasn't John Brown on at least somewhere around there? Because I remember he has a clip from when it was
this
at
is
Dallas
even
Hyenas.
before John Brown. I think I knew of John Brown's existence.
Oh, wow, okay.
And then, geez,
Wow.
it's so weird seeing all these old
Look at you go.
pictures.
Lawrence,
Oh,
you used to look like a Ninja Turtle. That's
right? Look how fat I was. Isn't that crazy?
At least there's no mug shots.
Oh, well, there are.
Yeah, you just have to
I've
type
been
in
arrested.
mugshot.
I've been arrested a lot when I was younger. As a younger man. I've been in trouble in a decade. More than 2 decades maybe.
Hey, our
Hey, look,
podcast is on there.
There's us.
Hey, nice. Told you, Blake.
Oh, there's me at Glenn Beck Studios with Dave Landau. Normal World.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so back then he was coming through Dallas Hyenas, and if you had the best minute, you got to open for
That
him.
was so weird. I get so weird. I wouldn't even do this for myself. I just scroll and see, and I should sometimes, I guess. I don't know.
Well, it's got to feel pretty cool for you. If I look it up every once in a while, like once a year, I'll look it up.
Yeah.
And like the 8th picture is a picture from my parents' Facebook page, and then I get wigged out that that's on Google somehow.
Yeah.
And I just turn it off.
Yeah, this is all. I mean, it was kind of cool, but it was kind of weird. And this is why I bought this stupid camera. Like, I've been doing it so long, I've done all these things, and like I was telling Shiva and I were talking about, it's like the product is better than the promotion. So let's start inching maybe towards putting ourselves out there.
Promotion was never a comedian game back then, other than
Yeah.
like barking, but that was day of. You didn't have to be a fucking marketing professional. You didn't have to have a marketing degree to be a comedian.
No, you got famous and someone else did it for you.
Right. You used to
You
be
know?
taken with someone, and then you grind out over there for a little bit more. People saw you. You got taken on the road, and then you got a chance.
Yeah, and now
Now they want you to come to a comedy club with all the fans already, and you're like, well, I'm fucking 2 years in.
Now I'm a goddamn production company. It's,
You got a production name yet?
no. God, Rising from Rock. So, anyways, that one picture of me in a suit, Rising from Rock Bottom.
That was a great picture.
That
That was when I first saw that picture. That was around my first year in, and I was trying to figure out when this was so I could go see it. Please go check out Lawrence live, and B, find the wall because that's such a fucking that's one of the better pictures I've
Walls.
seen for our comedies or comedy specials coming out.
It's behind a little dive bar in Deep Ellum.
It's a great picture.
But so back then, if you had the best minute on Kill Tony, and you got to realize whenever I showed up, it was like right before Christmas, like 9 years ago. I didn't really want to go, but all my like Laron and Mana and all these other people were all going, and they're like, let's go to Kill Tony, come with us. So I went, not knowing what it was, and they're just pulling names out of the bucket. I'm like, oh, this is like a funny show. This is good. And then they were going to end it, and they're like, all right, we're going to do one more comic. And they call me. I go up there, and I'd had the advantage of seeing how everybody else handled the situation.
Right.
So I go up there, and I just do 3 fast jokes, just like boom, 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 boom. And I remember Red Band like smashing his clipboard on the side of the thing. And I mean, I was so new at the time. I was like a year in, maybe.
But you need your first pop.
Yeah, I got the pop, you know. And so they go, okay, you're going to open for us. So like, how much time do you have? And I said 15 minutes. I did not have 15 minutes. And then at the time, I was at like the back of the open mic list at Hyenas. Back then, there'd be like 8 blocks. It would go till past midnight. And I went from my glass block to being like an MC. And it's not that I was ready. It's just that it happened.
Well, that's how that happens. Like, I'm not even the biggest Bert Kreischer fan, but his newest special that came out, I haven't watched it yet, but I like at least the idea of it more than anything because he's finally admitting that he's not the funniest. He's just one of the luckiest, which is what it takes. You just need a lucky break.
Yeah, which is so frustrating sometimes.
Because you can't pay for that lucky break. You can't beg for it.
No.
I'd suck a dick for that break.
I think you can be prepared for it.
Right.
You can be ready for it. Like I say to myself all the time, like I don't want things, but I want to be ready for things that I would like to have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's something that I've had too, where like I used to, when I was younger in comedy, I'd get mad at all these people that were having these opportunities. And then at one point I was getting mad over this one dude doing a clean set for 15 minutes at the Kessler Theater. And then I took a step back and I was like, oh, I've got 5 minutes maybe clean and it sucks shit. Why am I so mad? If I had this opportunity, I'd be blackballed from everything.
I was the same way. Like I almost said this earlier, whenever you mentioned the hula hut thing and what the show was like, I almost literally said, I was like, I remember back whenever I was around that hula hut area being like era, I would see flyers and be like, oh, fuck, I wanted to do that show. And now if I was at that show, I'd be like, how do I get out of here?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to get out of here.
What am I fucking doing?
Yeah. This is like, you're aware that it's a terrible show, but you're like, but they didn't ask me to do it. You know what I mean? Like, that seems rude. You know, I want to do that show.
I want to say no. Come on. Give me the opportunity to be better than you.
And I miss those times in a whimsical way, but I'm glad to be kind of past it.
Yeah, because you also, being past it, you're also missing out these opportunities. Like, God damn, do I not miss any of the shittiest gigs I've ever had. I've done gigs where it was an R&B variety show where there were comics, but they put the comics very last. And the show started at 10, which means it started at 11. The comics went up from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. after all these rappers and all their parents are leaving as the rappers are done. You're like, motherfuck. I've done it at a pool hall. Like I said, I hosted a fashion show and didn't even end up doing a set because they were running so behind.
I mean, I've done this recently where I have I haven't worked for him in a minute, but I have like a corporate booker.
Oh, okay.
So he every once in a while for good money puts me in terrible situations.
Hey, do you want to be tortured for a lot of money?
That sounds about right.
And not like a lot of money, like just enough to do it. Like just enough to do it.
You want to be looked down upon for every second you're on stage.
Yeah. And I remember this is like a couple summers ago, and financially I was like not okay. And he hit me up and he was like, hey, there's this Indian family and they want you to do 45 minutes for them clean. And you've got to do it standing outside next to a pool.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I said, I was so broke at the time. I said, no, thank you. I'm okay. Like, I'll just figure it out. You know, I'll figure it out. You know, like, I don't need lights. You know, I mean, like, I'll just go without.
I've got a couple things that can go to a pawn shop. I'll get them back later.
And then he asked me a second time, and you know, this is like this is where I'm at in my career. Like I said, okay, I'll do it, but not by the pool. Like, they've got to let me do it inside. And in hindsight, I think he just waited as a pro. I think he just waited an appropriate amount of time to respond. Okay, that'll work. And he did not tell them that. at all.
No.
He didn't tell them that at all. Because what am I going to do when I show up? You know, argue with these people?
Hey, aren't we supposed to be inside your? Was it at his house or was it at?
Yeah, it's like somebody's party, like birthday party.
Let's do this in your living room. Let me into your living room.
I show up, and it's an Indian family. This poor Indian family. Like neither one of us wanted this to happen in hindsight. And I show up. And it's for like I don't know what an Indian bar mitzvah, like whatever. It was like a 16-year-old Indian girl's birthday. And I'm not one to tell a 16-year-old girl, no, I'm not going to ruin your birthday party where you want me to. Like, I'm going to ruin it inside. So I was like, fine. In my house, like, I'll ruin your party wherever you want. And like, not on purpose. I've been doing this. I know how this is going to go. And it's going to be, this is not what you wanted for your birthday.
Right.
This is not what you wanted for your birthday.
She asked for Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah. So I just sweated next to a pool really hard for maybe 30 minutes, you know, because I'm a pro. I know I don't have to do the whole 45. And then I just kind of apologized and I left. And I texted the booker. I said, yeah, they made me do it outside. And he said, did they pay you? And I go, yeah. And he goes, all right. And I was like, you son of a bitch.
I know. I had a booker recently tell me, like, all right, you're going to. This fashion show was for 5 hours. I was getting $50 for the end of it. This, that, and the other.
Oh,
all right.
My God.
I did not realize I was also getting food. I waited too long. The only food vendor still going was the most expensive one there.
Yeah.
I got a $30 turkey leg and some dirty rice. He walks up after the show, gives me my money, goes, did you stop by the free food area? All right over there?
Yeah.
I go, oh, what are you talking about? He goes, oh, I didn't tell you about that? Yeah, we got free food back there. And I'm holding this gigantic fucking turkey leg. I go, no, Nick, he did not tell me about the free food.
Yeah.
I made $20 for 5 hours and I'm starving. I'd
For
like to go
5
back to my car.
hours. Jesus Christ.
It was weird, man. I brought this up on the last podcast. When I got there was a bunch of security people outside. And when you walk through into the other airplane hangar part, there were a bunch of people in tactical gear outside. All the people up front were wearing tactical gear and black, and all the people in the back were wearing tactical gear and black. But the people that were not out front weren't security. I found that out after the show. They were just people that were big fans of tactical gear as fashion accessories. And I like an hour left, and someone tells me like, "Oh no, that's not security." I go, "I've asked them so many questions." This whole evening.
I love casual tactical gear people.
That's crazy. Like
it's people that are just like romantic about the apocalypse. They're like, wouldn't it just be nice to murder your neighbors? You know what I mean? For their food. Not like to
we
kill
thought
them,
about going to
but like,
January 6th, but we said nah.
Yeah. I just would love
We
to
couldn't get the
have-
plane ride. It wasn't working. It's just,
Yeah.
maybe next time.
It's not so much I want to protect my family, it's that I want to kill somebody else. It's for them.
Yeah,
for
get away-
them. You know?
get away
Yeah,
with
yeah,
it.
What? Open carry's a thing in the state of Texas. Right?
Yeah.
That's not a good thing, though.
I just did Joe Machi.
Oh, awesome. Hell
And
yeah.
Joe Machi, great guy. I
Fucking love
didn't
Machi.
realize how Republican. Like on the TV song, I've done Glenn Beck Studios and that kind of stuff.
Right.
Not that I play the middle, like I'm pretty firmly on the side that I'm on.
Right.
But I didn't realize like that his shows now are kind of like a rally, and not that his comedy is, but I mean it's just a sea of
That's
red
the
hats.
audience.
That's the audience that I guess he has cultivated because he's on that Fox's Gut-Filled show.
Yeah, I've heard about that. And it's so funny, too. That I've heard something about Jim Norton getting a more Republican crowd. You're like, Jim Norton has a Republican. He's married to a trans person with the penis still. You're like,
Yeah.
It's the bar has shifted so much.
It's just a place to have an audience.
Right. There's people that just want to be Republican, love being Republican so much. If you're on their show, you're immediately their guy.
And they just the first show, like I just didn't realize what I'd walked into, and it's just I have a very I can have a very confrontational manner about me, and the rest of those shows were so much fun because they were honestly like I had to give them the business. Like I had to just open up. Like I learned after the first, I would just open up because being a Mexican there, like I'm protesting. Like this is like just being holding the microphone in front of these people. Like it's a protest, and I walk up like, okay, so you guys won the election, and they would go crazy, and I'd have to tell them all to shut the fuck up, like settle down. But that's the weird thing about Texas comedy, and it can be very difficult sometimes, like being in Arkansas and Oklahoma and all these places, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas here, and being not white.
Right.
And walking into this situation like, oh yeah, it's an all Republican room tonight. You're like, well, that's terrifying. You know what I mean?
Okay, well that's something.
But when you get good, and then it sucks because you get good enough to win them.
Right.
You get good enough to win them, and they're kind of like, oh, most of you I don't, but you I did. And you're like, oh, fuck you, man. You know what I mean? Like,
that was the
fuck
nicest
you.
compliment you gave all week, and
Yeah.
that's shitty. That's
So
a
then
shitty thing to
the
say.
anger in me is just growing until the last show. I'm like, I'm glad they shot him. I think his wife did it. You know what I mean? Like, he got paid for fucking a porn star. Nobody thinks she told that nerd, like, you get up there, I'll blow you. You know what I mean?
Fun fact, it just came out today. I think that he has the worst approval rating through the first 100 days of any president ever. So that's pretty.
I mean, look what he did to everything. Like, I am new to, like, I'm doing a little bit better financially. I've got a 4-year-old son. I've created like a stock portfolio for him, which I'm
Right.
pretty proud of.
Good.
And to watch this piece of shit come in. This piece of
fucked
shit come
everything.
in. You know, he fucked a porn star. He got shot in the ear, and then he came in. And I feel like the Republicans, they're like, we can't have trans people play sports. Where's my 401k? You know what I mean? Like, what happened? It just, I don't know. And kids are getting shot in school. We're
Yeah.
just cool with it. I was telling those crowds, I was like, I get it. I treat my dick like a gun. You know, like I leave the house with it every day thinking like, oh, I hope I get to use this. I really hope I get to pull this out and be a hero to somebody. And every day I get home and think, no, I didn't need that. I would have had the same day without it, you know? Honestly, I could have made some things worse. I really could have made some things worse, you know?
Dicks, guns, health insurance.
Yeah, right? And it can be more fun that way. You know, you say that and I don't know. I don't know why people have to go a certain way to be. I like Carlin. Like I'm much more on the Carlin side of things of like, you know, this
Everything's fucked and wrong and broken.
Yeah.
this is all inevitably going to end.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Be
Like
rational.
I don't care what side you're on.
Something's blowing up in the next 100 years. We don't know if it's the sun or all of the nuclear warheads on this planet.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen. I'm just waiting for the nuclear winter.
And I'm different than Carlin. I think people are generally good.
Yeah.
I do believe in
Right
human
now-
kindness and goodness.
Yeah, it's just everything that's getting pushed out right now is all of the one bad thing they did.
Yeah. Well, I think we all just, whatever your politics are, I wish I could get, whatever your politics are, I think we just sometimes get to either, I don't know if we get too close or too far away from the fact that Donald fucking Trump is not only running the country, he's doing it for the second time.
Right.
Like his brand, not once has he said, we're going to do it the smart way.
We're going
like,
to do it
that's
the
not
old
even-
way.
Yeah, that's not even how we pitched it. You
Well,
know?
it's funny they brought back The Apprentice on Amazon Prime, and
Yeah.
I was watching it a couple months ago, and like 10 episodes in, I'm like, this guy's running the fucking country.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, and if you support him and that's your thing, I really don't care. I really don't care. It doesn't bother me that much. Like I fought a whole room full of you with a microphone in my hand. Like I can let this go. I can let you say whatever you want and just kind of let it wash off of me. But it's just like the lady that's running the education department he appointed, her last job was she was the CEO of the WWE.
Yeah.
Like it's Idiocracy the movie.
Right.
It's like it's wild. It's wild. And I know we all make mistakes, but she came out and she was saying, like, I think we need A1 in all schools. She was just trying to say AI, but she kept saying A1. And like so A1
Everyone
put out like an
needs
ad.
steak sauce.
Yeah, we need A1 in all these kids' rooms. You know what I mean? And, like, and then A1 like put out an ad for it. Like it's just it's idiot. It's hilarious.
Michelle
It's
Obama
hilarious.
made all the food shitty, and now all these kids need
Yeah.
flavor.
Jesus. And I do blame Obama for everything. I really do. Obama was so black and good at it that the whites were like, oh, well, we've got a response to that. We're going to do something you will never see coming, you know, because we're still so mad about it.
Did you ever hear the old
It really
Patton-
is his fault.
Did you ever hear the old Patton Oswalt joke about having to pick presidents based on the atrocities that's going to happen under their presidency? They were talking about George W. Bush. Well, like, planes are going to hit the towers. How are we going to get through this? And we're like, cowboy. We're going to get a cool cowboy. That's going to be our president. Everyone's going to fall in love with this cowboy. No one's going to remember the terrorism.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, a couple years later, we've got a guy that's using drones to kill babies on the other side of the planet. Cool black guy. I don't know. Fucking cool black guy's going to get us through this, I guess.
Progress in this country is slow. It's very slow.
Well, Rogan,
like if we're gonna fight a never-ending war, at least do it in a way where I don't have to think about it. You know what I mean? Like quit bringing it up. Like after 9/11, you know, it's all we were talking about. You know, by the time we got to Obama, we're like, this dude's black. That's really cool. You know, and, like, and he's just hitting a button behind you, just killing babies with drones. Bomb, bomb, you know what I mean? And but at least
I need to stop bombing them. Put the kids in cages.
But it was a progress for us. You know what I mean? We were still Obama's. I mean, from my lifetime, my favorite. You know what I mean? Definitely my favorite. Handshake, so good. His handshake was so good. Like you see that video where he's like doing all the different kinds of handshakes with the different kinds of like white, black, Hispanic. You know what I mean? He's doing all this shit.
They
like,
ripped it for the Key and Peele sketch too.
Yeah. I remember that. It was good for the country. It was good for the country. It brought us together. But somewhere in the woods, or there was a bottle of moonshine brewing called Donald fucking Trump, and we didn't see this shit coming at all. We didn't see it coming at all.
Yeah, we really just let a fucking... I don't know.
Who was the gay guy that loved hot dogs and has all the kids?
God.
That was almost president. Not gay, but I mean, he just seems God, he was so boring too.
Who, Ross Perot?
No, not Ross Perot.
What, like the 2012, like the Mitt Romney dude?
Mitt Romney.
Oh,
Remember Mitt Romney? You know what I mean? Mitt Romney was like he looked like a suit that wouldn't fit you. You know, like that thing looks stiff. You know what I mean? Like just missionary. Like they're just missionary, lights off.
Well, they all look like fucking a step past I Am Robot, where they gave all these people like human skin to look real. They all just look like made people.
Yeah.
I've never met I went to college. I never met a person there that was a poli-sci major that actually wanted to be a politician. They were a poli-sci major that wanted to get blackout drunk on a Wednesday. Like,
well, that's a politician.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And some things have gotten crazy. Like I'm not crazy. I won't go down that alley. I mean, whenever you were scrolling, I worked with this comic. I like talking shit sometimes. Like there was this comic. It's just like it's funny to me. Like keep scrolling up. There was one. I should not do this, but it's funny. Is there one with Ashley Ray? Here, just do it this way. Is the Amphibian Theater, which was a great time. Type in Ashley Ray comedian.
Oh fuck, I can't.
Like this is the Republican me at this point. This is me getting old. Oh, this isn't about me at all. It's just Ashley Ray.
Oh, okay.
Just type in Ashley Ray. Pretty sure she's out of LA. Comedian. And let's look at her bio real quick. I wish that I could have. Jesus shit.
Good God.
I told you to type comedian. There she is. Well, we know what Google knows something about you.
Yeah. Fuck a duck. This is why, Blake, everyone gets mad at you for having Bing on this computer.
Okay, let's no, go to her website. Go to her website. Let's I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. And by the way, hold on, before we do this, amazing comic, super fucking funny, super gracious, super nice, got along with her, but I would just like to read the bio. Let me read the bio.
There you go. I've
been in this industry a long time. I'm dying for a credit. Okay, I'm dying for a credit.
I just saw the last sentence, and that makes
Ashley
me want to
Ray,
vomit.
just so you know, Ashley Ray is the most famous bisexual, solo, polyamorous, black queer comedian, actor, and writer currently based in Los Angeles. I didn't know any of those things were a description of
your
who
comedy.
You are as a comedy performer. And I can also go fuck myself because, in 2021, she was featured in Bust for her Whip Smart TV criticism. And yes, she's also famous for smoking pot. Okay.
Yeah, that one made me vomit. As someone who smokes a lot of pot, I never once talk about it.
And we rolled a joint together in downtown Fort Worth outside. We were at Amphibian Theater. I remember it well because I went back to my car and somebody had left a note in my Chevrolet Spark window that said, "Learn how to park, princess." And I was like, okay. You shouldn't even be mean to somebody driving a Chevrolet Spark that's bullying.
Well, I was just
going to
say bisexual, solo, polyamorous, black, queer comedian, actor, and writer. Current. It sounds like when you're fluffing up a paper you're turning in high school.
Yeah, it sounds like you're filling out a resume for a job you're not qualified for.
Right. I have 150
and
words.
by the way, she is an amazing comedian. And I support bisexual. I support solo. I'm not sure what that means.
I'm just going to say the AI generator she used for this bio sucks ass.
Polyamorous is like the libertarian of politics. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not picking a side. You know what I mean? Like, you're just a coward.
You're Sweden.
Yeah, you can't just be everything with everybody. Black, queer, comedian. I support all those things. I just didn't know it's what made us who we are.
It's called marketing.
And it is marketing. And I was like, I gotta do something. You know what I mean? I got to figure out how to be, what is my, And are you the most famous bisexual solely? Because we typed in your name on images and something else pulled up real fast. And I didn't see your face there at all.
Fact, all white people. Every single- Not one black person.
I shouldn't say this, but I'm not allowed to. But I just remember reading that thing and just being like, I don't know how to market myself. Like the most famous divorced solo
Ex-addict.
ex-drug addict Mexican comedian in Dallas.
Right.
there you go.
For the rest of your life, though, you got to be the divorcee, ex-drug addict, Mexican Dallas comic.
Yeah,
Like,
I just didn't know that it was. That seems like a credit. Like,
Right.
you seem to be what the tour is on. You know what I
this
mean?
is what you're doing. Is
Yeah.
you're just what you're doing right now is being a bisexual, solo, black, queer, polyamorous. All the other words. I'm not trying to be mean. I don't have any hate.
I mean, just for the sake of comedy, you got to pick 3.
right.
you gotta pick 3. It just
Cut the
seems like
fat.
too
Aren't
many.
you a comic? Don't
Yeah,
you? Like
yeah.
so many words doesn't help the
Trim
joke.
this down a little bit. And shout out Al Ray, an amazing comic. She was super awesome to work with, and I mean that legitimately, she's super funny. I don't know if she's famous for smoking pot, but she smokes pot, and then she's super chill. And we just had a drink at a Mexican restaurant after the show, and like I said, somebody left a very mean note on my car, telling me to learn how to park Princess, which is fucking rude. It stuck with me.
Were you on a line?
Huh?
Were you on?
No,
a line?
and that's the thing. I wasn't. I think
Oh.
somebody was just. I don't know. I feel like somebody's just following me around. I've got like the worst, gayest ghosts. Just being haunted by somebody who's like not even good at what they do.
I was gonna say that's your it follows. It's just leaving shitty notes. It's just a passive aggressive
It's
asshole.
So rude. So rude.
Just ruin your day.
Fuck, can I have the it follows that murders me or something? Shit.
And I don't know if anybody will get mad at me, but if they get mad at me, it'll be Lawrence Rosales, a stand-up comic known for making fun of the most famous bisexual solo polyamorous black queer comedian. You know, I don't know what this industry is anymore, but I'm trying to make it.
That's
Now,
exactly
if
what it
anybody
is.
has
though.
any ideas.
That's the one thing is selling yourself as the industry. You've got to sell yourself. It's almost back into like when you got the old advice when HBO Presents was the biggest thing, when you wrote a joke about what your job was.
Mhm.
You're like, all right, I got 10 minutes on the fact that I'm a fireman. I was talking with Jimmy Nelson about this. He's like, I don't want to be fireman Jimmy. They're like, this is no, my name is Jimmy. I'm a firefighter, but I'm also Jimmy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be one. I've had so many changes in my life. I've been so many different versions of me.
Yeah.
And
Like Jimmy
over-
used to be attractive and skinny. You know, I mean, we all grow and change
now he's-
in our own ways.
Now he's Jimmy.
Yeah, now he's fat. I beat him in a push-up contest during one of our podcasts,
Hell yeah.
which means that all firefighters are bitches. And I earned the right to say that. I earned the right to say it.
You know what? And no one's calling out firefighters. Everyone hates
Yeah,
cops. They get
yeah.
enough hate.
Fires will put themselves out eventually. You know what I mean? Like, we're just in a hurry. We're just in a hurry. Just be patient. You know, a fire, it'll put itself out eventually. Do we need California?
Maybe it's on fire for a reason.
Yeah, right? God. did
Purify
that.
it. Burn it.
Yeah, God did
Burn
this.
it, reset it, replant it. Let's do it all over again. But, buddy, thank you so much for coming on today. Will you go ahead and plug up your social media and where people can find you and where to catch you live?
Yes, it's at Lawrence Rosales on everything. Please check me out on the TikTok and the Instagram. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's on Facebook anymore, except my dead grandmother. We gotta get rid of that profile.
My dead grandmother has 4.
Yeah,
She has 4 Lacey Joe Yates because she kept forgetting the passwords.
gotta delete it before you go. That's the last thing you do. And I'm headlining this weekend. I'm headlining Fort Worth Hyenas, then Rollertown Brewery on Saturday, the Grapevine Vin Hotel on Sunday, and then the following Thursday I will be headlining TK's Comedy Club, where I'm starting doing a monthly show.
Oh,
there.
very cool.
So once a month I will be there.
That's awesome.
Doing a headline. Yeah.
That's great, man. And is it like a set like you're going to have the first or the last?
I thought we were gonna have something like that, but it's comedy, baby.
It's
You
comedy.
know, yeah, things get moved around. I'm not the one that's generating money or selling tickets, so you know we're gonna call some audibles,
Right.
but it's gonna be the first one. In 2 weeks, it'll be the first one, and I really hope to turn it into something that can continue to grow.
Hell yeah, man.
And you know, what I'm getting paid for, I'm basically gonna pay the comics that are on it. in hopes that I can sell merch after it and
Right.
that it can continue to be something.
Right. And then I wanted to ask this. So you've got Trina out on YouTube. Please go watch Trina. It's an amazing special. It was filmed at Dallas Hyenas. It was amazingly shot. Shout out to Travis Wright.
Shout out Travis.
What you're doing now, you're working on new stuff. You're not still doing Trina, right? People need to come out and see what you're doing now.
Slow down. No, I mean, it's I had like a new 40. Now it's probably like a new 35.
Okay.
But there's so much stuff. Like I had to like outline everything recently. It's like I've got everything that was on Trina. I had to go back and watch it, like because I try my best to not.
Right.
But I just, as an honest person, I hate like. If I'm doing an hour, you might hear one story
Yeah.
that was on there, but I hope it's the one that you liked.
Well, yeah, and it's
You know what I mean?
refreshing because, you're going to have so many people that are coming and do this joke. I
Yeah.
love this joke. And we're like, that's not how stand-up works. We don't like to do the same ones over
But if
again.
you hear me telling the Jack in the Box story, just know that I also hate what I'm doing. And I can't wait to be past it as well.
Right.
But things take time, and we will get there. We will get there eventually.
You've got about 2 minutes.
Yeah,
We'll
about
get
2
through
minutes.
this.
Yeah, we'll get through this. It's not that long. You know what I
Hold
mean?
your hand through it. We're good. We're fine.
Yeah.
We're going to go to another one.
I'm sure I wouldn't love everything you do either. You know what I mean? All right.
Well-
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming on, man. And y'all can follow me at pbailey_comedy on Instagram and Dingbat District Pod on Instagram and TikTok as well. Make sure to follow us on YouTube at Dingbat District Pod and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on a new episode every Tuesday and new clips every single day. Other than that, thank you for watching another episode. Please go watch Trina and follow Lawrence on all social media. Other than that, thank you. Bye.